Have you ever noticed how shrimp look gray, bluish, or even slightly transparent when they're raw, but then magically turn a bright pink or orange once they're cooked? It happens fast, it's dramatic, and it feels almost like food magic. Whether shrimp are boiled, grilled, fried, or steamed, the color change is nearly always the same. But this transformation isn't magic at all. It's actually a fascinating mix of biology, chemistry, and heat. The color change tells a story about proteins, pigments, and how heat affects living organisms, even after they've been harvested from the ocean. In this video, we're diving deep into the science behind shrimp turning pink when cooked, what that color really means, and why humans have come to associate pink shrimp with perfectly done. What color are shrimp before cooking? Raw shrimp aren't naturally pink. In fact, most raw shrimp are gray, blue-gray, greenish, or nearly translucent. This dull coloration helps them blend into their surroundings in the ocean, protecting them from predators. Inside their shells and muscles, shrimp already contain a pink pigment called astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is a powerful carotenoid pigment, the same family of compounds that give carrots their orange color and tomatoes their red hue. However, in raw shrimp, this pigment is hidden. The reason we can't see astaxanthin clearly in raw shrimp is that it's tightly bound to specific proteins. When astaxanthin is attached to these proteins, its color is masked, making the shrimp appear gray or bluish instead of pink. So even though the color is already there, it's essentially locked away until something releases it. Meet astaxanthin, the pink pigment. Astaxanthin is one of the most powerful natural pigments found in marine life. Shrimp don't actually make it themselves, they get it from their diet. Algae produce astaxanthin, and shrimp eat algae or other organisms that have already consumed it. This same pigment is responsible for the pink color of salmon, lobster, krill, and even flamingos. Flamingos, in fact, would be pale white if they didn't eat astaxanthin-rich foods. Astaxanthin isn't just colorful, it's also an antioxidant that helps protect cells from damage. In shrimp, it plays a role in protecting tissues from sunlight and environmental stress. But again, while raw shrimp contain astaxanthin, it's bound up with proteins in a way that keeps the color hidden, until heat enters the picture. What heat does to shrimp proteins? When you cook shrimp, heat begins to alter their internal structure almost immediately. Proteins inside the shrimp start to denature, which means they unravel and change shape. Think of proteins like tightly folded balls of yarn. When heat is applied, those balls loosen, stretch out, and lose their original structure. When this happens in shrimp, the proteins holding onto astaxanthin can no longer keep it bound. As the proteins denature, astaxanthin is released. Once free, it reflects light in a way that reveals its true color, bright pink or orange. This is why the color change happens so quickly, often within just a minute or two of cooking. At the same time, the shrimp's flesh becomes opaque and firm. The color change and texture change are happening together, both caused by heat transforming proteins. So the pink color is essentially a visual signal that the proteins inside the shrimp have changed. Why pink means cooked to us? Over time, humans have learned to associate pink shrimp with doneness. For centuries, cooks noticed that shrimp became safer to eat and more flavorful once they turned pink. The color change happens at roughly the same temperature range where harmful bacteria are destroyed and the shrimp's texture becomes tender instead of mushy or rubbery. However, pink doesn't always mean perfect. Overcooked shrimp can turn an even deeper orange or red and become tough and chewy. The ideal shrimp is a soft pink with a slight curl, not tightly coiled into a ring. Still, the pink color remains one of the easiest visual cues for knowing shrimp are ready to eat. Why lobsters and crabs turn red too? Shrimp aren't the only sea creatures that change color when cooked. Lobsters, crabs, and crayfish all undergo the same process. They also contain astaxanthin bound to proteins, which keeps their shells dark blue, green, or brown when alive. When heat breaks those protein bonds, the pigment is released, and the shell turns bright red or orange. So whether it's a tiny shrimp or a massive lobster, the science behind the color change is exactly the same. So, why do shrimp turn pink when cooked? It all comes down to hidden pigments, protein structure, and heat. Astaxanthin is there all along, but it's only when cooking breaks protein bonds that the color finally shines through. That quick color change is more than just visually satisfying, it's a reminder that cooking is a scientific process happening right on your plate. Every time shrimp turn pink, you're watching chemistry and biology work together in real time. The next time you cook shrimp and see that gray flesh transform into a vibrant pink, you'll know it's not magic, it's science, delicious science.